In 2022, there was a decrease in the amount of people that moved in comparison to 2021, which that trend continued in 2023. And honestly, I expect it to continue in 2024 as well, given that real estate sales are down. So what does this really all mean for you? Well, this gives you an opportunity to know exactly what you must do if you're considering or even thinking about moving to a new state or a new city, on what you must do. This is why I think this video is going to be extremely important, because it's going to give you the advantage that you need to make sure that, one, you don't make a terrible decision, but also you can find yourself being in a place where you don't regret. Starting with research and planning. I mean, take as long as you possibly need in this phase, because this is where you're going to learn everything that you need to know before even maybe taking a trip and visiting and wasting all that money getting on a plane, renting cars just to go to the place to see what it's really all about. I don't know how many times I've helped individuals just cancel out moving to North Carolina off of their list, just off of a brief conversation that we've had, and be able to narrow down a few things. And some of the things I always recommend individuals to do when in that research and planning phase is make a list of the priorities of the things that you need, or at least that you want. Some of the things that you can consider is proximity to work. You know, what amenities do you need in the area or even the neighborhood? What sort of job opportunities are there for you? What's the school district like? So just those things right there should go ahead and get you started. But if you want to take it a step further and learn even more, you can join a ton of local blogs, even Reddit, that are out there to give you a little bit of more in-depth, outside of my opinion and my perspective, of what's even going on in that specific state or city that you're looking into. Also, as part of the planning and researching that you're going to be doing in that first step, you really want to understand what type of climate are you going to even put yourself in. Because if you're moving from, like myself, if you're moving from a northern state and you're moving south, I mean, get rid of all your long sleeves. Not to entirely get rid of all of them, but mainly get rid of all your long sleeves, your boots, your shovels, because you won't need them as much as you typically did if you were in those northern states. But also understanding what sort of natural disasters go on in that specific state or city that you're looking into. It's going to give you a clear indication if that's something that you even want to deal with. I know I hear it all the time where individuals ask me, does North Carolina experience hurricanes or tornadoes? And it's yes, it does. How often, how bad? That's up to the day and that's up to the time, So it's something important that you guys can take a look into to see if that is even something that you want to tolerate. Step 2 is going to be all about your budget. So some things you're going to want to budget for. I have a list here. You're going to want to budget for your move. Maybe that's including movers, travel expenses, your initial living costs. I mean, we can't really forget about the cost of living. If you're going from one state to another, it probably won't be the same, which is why I think, using these calculators that are already on the web can really help you understand. And I'll leave these links in the descriptions below to go ahead and give you guys some sort of idea where you can go to learn a little bit more about the cost of living in specific areas. But if you're needing to purchase, if we're sticking on that budget aspect, I think it's extremely important for you to start thinking about or even considering getting a pre-approval so that you know what your budget is and the type of home that you can be actually interested or even wanting to purchase in that specific area. If you haven't moved before, you're going to find out really quickly that moving sure as heck can be a really exciting thing, while at the same time be extremely challenging, because you have to learn everything that you probably never experienced before, and you're learning an entirely new area. So stay tuned to hear how you can prepare yourself for that move. At this point, you have done your research and planning and your budget sheet, so you know that this is an area that you're more than capable of moving to. So now it's time to really find that home or even find that apartment. And one of the biggest things I would say is start this phase as early as possible, because that's going to help you better understand as well. It's like another layer. It's going to help you understand if this is an area that you for sure need to be moving to. And for those of you who are interested in renting out an apartment, I would highly recommend going to apartments.com. I have found that to be a great source when recommending individuals who are interested in looking for apartments. Whereas if you're looking for, maybe even purchasing a home or even renting a home, this is where you want to get connected to a local real estate agent in that area to help you find that home. Not only that, but schedule showings so that you can go ahead and preview that home, maybe even possibly negotiate some sort of deals for you. I have found that a lot of individuals now are watching these videos online and reaching out to local real estate agents, including myself, and saying, hey, they need assistance with, relocating to a specific state or city. Here being in North Carolina, I get a lot of reach outs of individuals who are doing so. And even if they cannot be in the city in itself, what I do offer is virtual showing. So that is something that you can even look into as well. Before making the entire trip to the state in itself, you can even seek out for virtual showings to see, all right, does this home or does this area really check off that everything off your list before committing and getting on a plane and doing all the sorts of things that require you to go ahead and check out that home. So that's something you can even look into as well. But for homeowners looking to sell and buy at the same time, I'm going to share something with you guys because I don't want you guys to be homeless. And I've seen it, I've experienced it where people are scrambling to find that home because they did the reverse, right? They put the home on the market, now they have an offer accepted, and now they have to find a home or else they're homeless. And so I always share with individuals who are going to be experiencing or at least want to sell and buy at the same time, at least start your process, get familiarized with the area, understand what's going on in that buy process so that when you're okay with purchasing, at least you know where to go and how to target and so on and so forth. Whereas if you do the reverse, let's just say you get an offer accepted. Yes, you maybe even negotiate it. You need some time to be able to search. But what if that home doesn't pop up and that time period is getting narrow, it's getting smaller and smaller? What do you do then? Which is why I always recommend at least start that buy process, get familiarized with yourself. You can always make an offer contingent on the sale of your home. So you have some sort of protection. But if you do the reverse, man, you're on your own. So step 4 is going to be all about the preparation. At this point, you've secured your home and you're getting ready to move. As I mentioned earlier, moving, yes, it could be exciting and does present its challenges. So moving is no joke. So create maybe a checklist or even a timeline in terms of when exactly things need to be done so that you don't miss out on anything. Of course, you can hire a moving company, but again, I've heard horror stories about that as well. So if you do go ahead and do that, my recommendation would be at least vet them as much as possible, right? Pose these tough questions that most people aren't going to pose them, and just don't accept anything for as is, or even get referrals, get recommendations from individuals that are locally or even the market that you're moving to see, what company could be best for you in your scenario. And last but not least, finally, it is time to settle in. You've moved already to the new state, the new city. Now it's time to either, especially if you don't know anyone, to find out how you're going to meet and greet with other individuals that are local to the area. Honestly, you can just start right with your neighborhood and take advantage of all that it already has to offer. From parks, museum, community events, maybe even local events, the city events, right? These are things that you can go ahead and get started with. If you did the planning and the researching process properly, you should already know about all of this. Because joining those local clubs or even the Reddit, the subreddits should give you enough information on where you can possibly go to find out certain things that you are interested in. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope that these 5 steps help you with your next move to the new state or city as smooth as possible. Of course, if you need any sort of personal guidance or even personal advice on moving to that North Carolina market, you are more than happy to reach out to me or even leave a comment below and let's start that dialogue, because just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Roney and I am a licensed realtor here. I would love nothing more but the opportunity and the ability to help you with your relocation. So if you want to set up a Zoom consultation, or better yet, you want to just reach out to me directly, that number that you do see popping up right there, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market.